The new Modus Super Series champion.
Oh my word!
It's another incredible moment tonight.
Jeff Smith.
It's match down.
5-star performer, and the bullseye is hit.
It's
Johnny Magny!
He could have. He has.
And
What a
the match,
shot.
Willie Borland.
Does he? Can he? Will he? Yes to all
James on
three of
the
those
fourth
questions.
Steve West.
The third ton plus checkout of this game. We're only into leg 4.
Narrowly finds the 10 and pings the tops. The theory of just scraping in a single number, finding that double. There's the first. So much space in that treble 20 bed. It's the ball for a 170 and another ton topping finish is a 170. We go at 2 apiece. Keegan Brown's finishing has most definitely been on point.
Is there another twist? Is it another bull? Oh, it's classic Beaton.
Steve Beaton.
Look at that. Heads and hands all over the shop.
The action begins indeed here in week 11 of Series 13. Group B kicks off tonight, and maybe that B stands for brilliant because we have got some stellar names coming up for you. The action gets underway very shortly. Welcome back to the Live Lounge here in Portsmouth, the home of the Modus Super Series, which of course is housed live and free on Pluto TV. Thanks for joining us tonight, and alongside me in the studio to take in the action today, Laura Turner. Great to see you, Laura, and we've already had some really entertaining stuff today, starting with Group C earlier on this afternoon, where Jared Cole has planted his flag in the ground and said, "I'm the man to beat."
Yeah, he was brilliant from start to finish. He did have one slip up where he lost one game, but in terms of the consistency at such a high level, averaging between 102 and peaking with 103 right at the very end of the session. Yeah, all round brilliant from Jared and deservedly top of the table.
Well, this is how he concluded his afternoon's work in Group C. A 1-6-7 against Danny Van Tripe and a 4-0 win. And that 4-0 win, which he celebrated by looking down the lens of the camera, of course he did, but puts him in such a good position because it's actually leg difference, which we've already seen come into play in Group A this week, which sees Jared top the pile here in Group C.
Yeah, and it can be all important. We spoke about it this afternoon, and there were 3 really strong players in Jared, Simon and Scott. And you can see it's just a couple of points in terms of the actual scores overall. But yeah, there's only 5 legs difference between first and third. So tomorrow's going to be all important still.
Yeah, as you say, Group C continues and concludes tomorrow. But what about tonight? Group B is what we're looking at. And here's the breakdown of Week 11 in Series 13. Group A was won by Ben Robb. He's already booked his spot through to Saturday night. But with Hayter, Brown, Beaton, Borland and West, that is a real star-studded lineup, isn't it, in Group B tonight?
Yeah, it's so tough to think who's going to go through it. You mentioned B for brilliance. Well, maybe it's going to be B for Brown, Beaton and Borland. Maybe they're the 3 that are going to come through because it's so hard to pick.
Well, you've got a pretty good chance of one of those getting through. You've got a 3 in 5 chance. But go on then, try and pick someone out of that lot because it's so difficult, isn't it? The talent is incredible.
Yeah, and you've got the experience of Steve West. And he at moments during that Group A campaign, he looked really good indeed. Willie Borland was top of that table for quite some time. Then you've got the brilliance of Steve Beaton coming back in. Keegan Brown, who's won here before, made it all the way through to a finals night in Champions Week. And Gemma Hayter, who is a serious competitor. She won't be here to make up the numbers. She'll be here to try and prove how well she can play.
Well, it's strange to think that with all of the experience that Steve Beaton has got, he's actually not the most experienced player at the Live Lounge on the stage. All of the things he's done in his decades of darts, actually, in terms of games up there on that particular stage here in Portsmouth, he's one of the least experienced, which is weird to say.
Yeah, he's a bit of a newbie when it comes to the Modus Super Series, isn't he? But he's done good things under this roof. But yeah, as you say, you look at the likes of a Steve West, he has been here for some time.
Yeah, Steve West has won many a time on the stage and big games and won titles on that stage. The bookies have him at 4-1, which is middle of the pack there. Steve Beaton, though, does go off the favourite. How do you see those prices?
Yeah, again, you know, you could flip some of those around for me. And again, put Keegan Brown back out at 11-2. Keegan Brown has been in this position where he is a bit of an outsider in a group and then proves everyone wrong. He does like to upset the odds. So, yeah, I'm not surprised how they've ranked it, but I'm not sure that it's going to end up quite like that.
Okay, Laura, thanks for now. More from Laura in the commentary box very shortly. But let's get stuck into our first game. Gemma Hayter, she's only from across the water in Gosport. This very much feels like home territory for her. She's had success on the Live Lounge stage previously, and I caught up with her a little bit earlier on this evening. Gemma, welcome back to the Live Lounge. I guess this is like a home game for you, home soil. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. Obviously, I love playing here, so it's nice to be back. And yeah, tough group tonight, but hopefully I'll do all right.
Yeah, how do you see that in terms of the challenge that lies ahead of you? Obviously, you've got some legends of the game that you're facing off against, players that also have lots of experience here at the Super Series. So how do you approach it? You just looking to try and enjoy it, or have you got some targets in mind?
No, I'm just looking to enjoy it. They're all like former tour card holders, so yeah, I'm in very good company. But yeah, I'm just going to take it one game at a time, and we'll see how it goes. In
terms of the success you've had on that stage, do you get that kind of feeling when you turn up to a venue and you think, do you know what, I've done it here before, I can do it again? Yeah, I think so. I kind of get that wherever I go, really. Like, I don't feel like I've got anything to prove, but I think when you play the men, maybe it's a different kind of mindset. I don't want to be one of the ones that are here just to make the numbers up. So, but yeah, we'll see how tonight goes. Now, you're sporting some new jewellery. Just show everyone what you got there. Tell us about this lovely bracelet and where it came from. So it's Rosie. She made it for me. She's only 6 years old. She's a local girl from my area that plays. And yeah, she kind of took a shine to me and gave me the bracelet and said I had to wear it. So here we go. Yeah, you failed to mention that you hit first 3 darts 180 against her and basically smashed her off the board. But, you know, teach them young. Yeah. Well, I did try to miss it, but it caught the flight and went in. And then I hit another 2 treble 20s. So I was, 5 into the 9. But, yeah. Well, it might be a permanent fixture if it goes well tonight. Best of luck. Thank you. Well, Gemma Hayter says she isn't here to make up the numbers, and I truly believe her when she says that, because her game has come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of years in particular. Only re-inspired to pick the darts back up, and what a good decision it was for her to do that. Found success on the Women's Series, reached the semi-final of the Women's Series very recently, in fact, and of course is from not too far away in Gosport. Big Pompey supporter. Well done, Gemma. That's the right team to support, and she's part of this Group B lineup this evening. Someone you know very well, and we're both excited to see how she gets on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe her when she says that she's not here to make up the numbers. And even if you look at this first match where she will be taking on Steve West, they have met before, met under this roof, and they are one apiece in terms of head-to-heads. And that kind of gives you an indication of the levels that she can play at.
Yeah, both local players as well, because Steve West is residing currently just up the road from here in Waterlooville. So very much a local feeling to kick us off here in Group B. There she is, 32 years old. Gemma Hayter has picked up a title here at the Super Series, the winner of Women's Week 4. Steve West, only one man has won more weekly titles than him, and that was Neil Duff, by virtue of the Northern Irishman picking up a weekly title, his 6th, just a couple of weeks ago. So he'll be involved in Champions Week. Westy knows exactly what the winning feeling is like, but so too does Gemma. And this man has called in many a title in his career on the mic. Paul Hinks, our referee for this evening. And it is game on in Group B. And we said that B might stand for brilliant, but we do also have Brown and Borland and Beaton to come as well. You can see Gemma Hayter there sporting that
36
bracelet that was given to her by an avid 6-year-old Gemma Hayter fan. Now,
60.
You can be the most avid Gemma Hayter fan, but after 10 p.m. at night, if you're 6 years old, you probably should be in bed. But
38.
maybe parents have decided Gemma's on the telly, the bracelet's on display. Might be a permanent fixture if it goes well tonight.
Yeah, we are a superstitious bunch as dart players, so if things do
60.
go well for Gemma, I'd expect to see that at the next women's series. But don't forget, it is half term, so if Rosie wants to stay up and watch a match or two, she can have a lay in tomorrow.
Well, Steve West has just hit a 180 against Gemma Hayter. Gemma Hayter hit a 180 against 6-year-old Rosie. I did say to her when I spoke to her earlier on tonight, it's a little bit Crystal Palace, Gemma. The old red and blue bracelet. Of course, an avid Portsmouth supporter. If it was red and white, she would not have been wearing it. I can tell you that much.
I'd have worn it for her.
Yeah, well, less of that. You're behind enemy lines here.
I know.
You be careful.
95.
Well, Steve West can't go out from here. Gemma Hayter can. So on throw, she'll
60.
be
Gemma
having a look
106.
first at 106. Tops. And
86.
very nearly a ton plus start for Gemma Hayter. Oh, Steve West
90.
with an opportunity
Gemma
as well
20.
at double. Both players trading blows in the early exchanges. Double 5 now for Hayter, which she finds.
First leg, Gemma Hayter.
Hold a throw for Gemma. And her
Second
first leg
Steve to
here
throw first.
of Group
Game
B
on.
is wrapped up. And if there's one thing you can say about Gemma, and you'll know this all too well from competing on the PDC Women's
140.
Series, is they are long days. They are grueling days. If you're going deep into the Women's Series, because there's 2 events every day across a weekend, it's a lot of darts that
85.
are thrown. And if there's one way to toughen you up and to season you through playing lots of matches, the Women's Series is a great place
80.
to sort of blood yourself with the amount of darts thrown in a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you say, the day kind of, most players are normally at the venue by 8, 8:30. And if you do go deep in one tournament or 2
96.
tournaments, obviously that is the idea. But yeah, you could be there till 5, 6 o'clock in the evening and playing constantly throughout that day as well. I do recall that
140.
during that difficult period of COVID that we actually had 3 tournaments in a day for a while. That really was tough.
40.
Well, all of the talk in
Steve
the women's
141.
game has been about Bo Greaves and this incredible run that she was on until very recently,
60.
where she somehow lost a match. The last player to beat Bo Greaves before that stellar run was Gemma Hayter. So in terms of testing herself against
60.
quality players, she's
Steve
made a habit of doing it
81.
and performing well. Double 12
Game shot on the second leg.
is
Steve
found
West.
by Steve West.
Third leg,
Well,
Gemma
he had a
to throw
pop at
first.
double 12,
Game
didn't he, in
on.
leg 1? Didn't hit it. Did hit it to take out the 2 darter and level the game.
70.
Yeah, and it's a good response from Steve West. 14 dart hold of throw.
81.
She's been playing in ADC events as well, Gemma Hayter.
58.
Playing Vault events.
Yeah, she's one of those players that kind of just really does kind of get onto social media, show everyone what she's doing, where she's
81.
going, how she's playing. She's a real advocate for the women's game.
$125.
Yeah, she's not afraid to say what she
97.
thinks as well, which I think is quite refreshing.
Yeah, and I think, for Gemma, I just think it's a real passion of hers to obviously see
44.
more opportunities, and when the opportunities do arise, like here at the Super Series, just for players to grasp them with both hands.
94.
Of course, played at Ali Pali, the World Championships, as one of those qualifiers through the Women's Series. and more incentives in the women's game than ever now, aren't
85.
there? Because
Supercar
spots at
Wooden,
Ali Pali and
48.
the Women's World Match Play and things like that up for grabs.
Yep, there's absolutely a lot more to play for.
140. Gemma Hayter,
Well,
19.
the 140 from Steve West. On a gettable double. Hayter looking for treble 20. Can't find it. So Steve West with a break opportunity.
99. Supercar 8.
Double 4 it is then.
Getting shown the
And
third
double
leg,
4 he
Steve
hits.
West.
And there is that break of throw for Steve
Fourth leg,
West.
Steve to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's a pair of Steves to begin with for Gemma Hayter because her next game is against the bronzed Adonis, Steve Beaton.
125.
Then it's Keegan Brown before the penultimate game of the night sees her take on Willie Borland. And she said to me beforehand that
100.
basically like being on the Pro Tour tonight. And no doubt she's got aspirations to be on the tour one day, so
96.
it will be a challenge, but she's never shy of a challenge.
No, and this is a great platform to
60.
not just see where your level is against players that have formerly held tour cards, but also to improve those levels as well and get used to playing in these kind of uber competitive environments. Times like this is a slip from Steve West, and it really has offered an opportunity for Gemma to get back into the leg.
Well, it's an opportunity she's not been able to grasp.
17.
Wayward visit from Hayter. Well, Steve West's over in the 5 now as well.
44.
Well, he's already left himself a bogey number in this match, Steve West, and he's struggling to get himself within range
92.
in this one. That's a bit better from Gemma Hayter. Well, he should be within range.
100.
He is.
Yeah, well within range, and you feel for Gemma here. Really does need a couple of trebles. High with the first, over adjustment with the second.
60. Supercar 110. $70.
Well, not far away from Steve West.
No, but because Gemma Hayter didn't go for a 25 with that one of those last darts, she's left herself on an
42.
impossible finish at 172.
Supercar
She could have been on
40.
167.
Double 10.
20. Gemma Hayter 130.
Well, more misses for Steve West. And Gemma Hayter is just starting to get a bit frustrated here because if she could
38.
have stayed
Supercar
straight on the
20.
20s, she might have given herself a chance. Had one of those snuck into the 60.
Getting shown the
But
fourth leg,
Steve West has now moved into a 3-1 lead. Does have the
Fifth leg, Gemma to
cushion.
throw first. Game on.
And it's not the start that Gemma Hayter would have wanted.
Now, arguably, it's been tentative from both.
99.
Steve West's best game of the week came in his final match in
85.
Group A, where he dashed the hopes of Willie Borland 4 legs to 2 with a 100+ average. Willie Borland could have got across the line against Steve West. He would have found
140.
himself at the top of Group A, but as it stands, he's in Group B and next up against Keegan Brown.
60.
Lost out by 10 legs in the end on legs difference, Willie Borland, as Ben Robb booked his spot through to Saturday night.
81.
In around about 48 hours from now, this venue will be full, as people will watch on to see exactly who will book their spot
40.
in Champions Week with just a week of the series remaining. Of course, you can always join us here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth for Saturday night action. Tickets are available.
95.
You can check out the website for more details. So Gemma Hayter, despite the frustrations
100.
of
Gemma Hayter 86.
missing into the 5 on occasion, does have 86 left. Well, double four was there
82.
if she wanted it, and she got the 60 to leave herself a pop at it.
Yeah, sensible play in terms of the setup,
140.
but the execution for double
Gemma
four
count
not there.
4.
And you could see Gemma just gesticulating in the background, not happy with how things are going.
How much of that can she see?
No
There was a lot of real estate in the way there, wasn't there? Tops. For the win for West.
Getting shown the match, Steve
And
West.
it is an opening game victory for Steve West. Not the beginning that Gemma Hayter would have been hoping for, but Steve West does get it done with a 4-1 win. And with an average of 85.74, well, 84.99, just on the 85 mark, 4 out of 9 on the doubles, and a victory for West in the opener, 4-1. So Steve West has got himself up and running here in Group B. He beat Gemma Hayter before the break by 4 legs to 1. And now we have another relatively local player in Keegan Brown. And in honour of Keegan Brown playing here at the Super Series tonight, Laura, I brought a pink pen. had to write Keegan's name down in pink on my notes because, do you know what? Keegan Brown wears a pink shirt. Where is it, Keegan? Where's your pink shirt? Well, only 33 years of age, but has done so much in the game. And, of course, is a colleague of ours now in the commentary box at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, a former PDC youth champion and a former PDC tour card holder as well. So is his opponent, Willie Borland, a 29-year-old from Scotland who's hit a 9-darter quite famously on the Ali Pally stage. I think he's still running off into the distance somewhere, and he's ended up eventually here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. But Brown against Borland, and 57. Away we go. And Keegan, it brought a tear to his eye, his success at the Live Lounge 83. Last time. It was very emotional for him. I'm reliably informed that Keegan Brown does have a pink shirt in his arsenal, but only 100. If he makes it to Saturday night. So he's putting the pressure on himself. His name's written in pink on the back. Of course, coming from just over the water in the Isle of Wight, and his mate Joe Hunt is doing really well on the Challenge Tour. So in terms of practice partners in the local area, well, that's as good as any. We'll see how he gets on here.
Yeah, and it's a tough opener because Willie Borland, as you mentioned, he's 60. A player, again, has done big things within the PDC, but his Group A campaign, you really much felt going into that final day, it 26. Was his to lose, and he lost that match to Ben Robb and then lost to Steve West, and as you mentioned previously, it just all came down to leg difference, which is why he finds himself still playing this week. In terms of meetings between these two, it does stretch back to 2016 18. When I had a look. They both played on the Youth Development Tour. Also met in the European Darts Grand Prix qualifiers 100. In 2022. Keegan's won both those encounters. But you probably would agree that Willie Borland's a stronger player than what he was in 2016 and 2022.
94.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for sometimes falling off the tour and coming to play at places like this and trying different tournaments and becoming somewhat of a free agent. I think there's a lot to be said for improving yourself as a player, and if you do get back on the tour, being a better dart player for that.
Yeah, I think a player like Connor Scott would probably agree with you with that testament, because he obviously had his tour card, came back here, did good things here at the Super Series, and then has got his tour card back, and he'll say the same thing.
39. Keegan Ricard, 60.
Well, Willie was in fine form for large parts of his Group A campaign, but as we keep saying, lost out on legs difference to get through to Saturday night. Keegan Brown couldn't get through to tops, but he does get the double 10. And he gets the first leg.
Second leg, Willie to through first. Game on.
This encounter.
60.
Yeah, players haven't quite come out in the emphatic style that we saw this afternoon in Group C. Yeah. Group C, they really did come out with a bang and really didn't look back after that
93.
point.
Yeah, we should have had a 160 or a 123 on the ball by now. That's what happened earlier on this afternoon, as you rightly say.
96.
First two matches of the day, the first legs of those respective matches were won with big finishes.
And it's quite funny because the unwritten rule with regards to the Super Series is you normally have the kind of stronger players, you 30. Feel they go up to Group B because of their positioning in Group A and the players coming in with their averages. And the Group Cs, they're the 100. Bottom end of the Group A table, coupled with players that perhaps are here on debut or perhaps haven't just averaged as high as others. And this afternoon, you wouldn't have known that at all.
59.
Well, that was a 180 from Willie Borland that you could have got on a pinhead.
$58. Willie Ricard, 65.
Well, it's left him 65 to level the game. 33 scored to leave 32, and he took a bit of time to throw that second dart, but it was time worth taking.
Felt like Keegan to throw
as he tidies up the leg and gets himself back in the match.
Yeah, it's a well-measured finish. He was under no pressure to go the 25 route, and actually, considering the treble 11 route isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world.
59.
We saw it this afternoon on 65. Someone goes in on the ball, tries to go down for the 7 and actually pinned the double 7. So there's no guarantees in this sport.
100.
One thing I
82.
will say about Keegan, and I've been on comms when he's played here at the Super Series on a few occasions, he can sometimes take a game or two just to warm into things. In Group B, you don't get a great deal of time. There's only 5 players, so there's not a huge amount of points on offer.
Well, I was speaking to Keegan about this a couple of weeks ago in preparation for this campaign here in Group B. And he said something
44.
quite interesting, which I thought was a neat little line, actually, and it's a good way to look at things as a player. I want to win big and lose small. And we've been talking about it all week, the legs difference conundrum. Willie Borland has been stung by it once already this week, losing out to Rob that spot in Saturday night from Group A.
140.
And I guess what Keegan was trying to say is win as big as you can, 4-0 if you can. And if you're going to lose the match, try and lose it 4-3. Just pick up as many legs as possible in layman's terms.
93.
And that's a nice way of looking at it. Keeps it nice and simple.
96. Keegan Carr, 124.
Just clips the wire for a break of throw, and it's a 1-2-4 here for Keegan Brown. Searching out that treble 18. He can't finish, so Borland back for 25 for a break.
63. Willie Carr, 25.
Double 8 is found by Willie Borland. And this is a good little flurry from the Scotsman, who just missed the bullseye on 1-2-1.
Game on.
And 2-1 is the lead that he now has.
58.
The one thing you will see with this group, I'm sure this evening, is there's no hanging around. These are, I wouldn't say they're the fastest players. I think that kind of for this group
96.
or this week goes to Wesley Van Tripe, but they don't hang around on the oche either.
Yeah, there's a lovely rhythm
47.
and cadence to the game, flowing nicely.
$94.
Well, I know Keegan's been bringing cricket into his
134.
practice routine a little bit more as well in the last few weeks. It's helped him when throwing for cover on 19s, 18s.
I do enjoy
81.
cricket on the dartboard, obviously.
What's wrong with the other kind of cricket?
I don't mind it. It just takes a long time to watch. Darts is like instantly gratifying.
43.
You don't have to wait too long for a result.
I was talking about the insect. But no, I understand, and the cricket is one of those games that you don't see that much actually factored into practice routines. Of course, soft tip players play it a lot. You see it a
60.
lot played in North America, United States and Canada. They're big proponents of cricket. But
97.
XO1 just dominates,
Keegan
doesn't
Carr,
it, in
170.
Europe. I can't get the 170 started. Willie had a go at 1-2-1, missed it on the ball.
98.
What's he got in the locker for
Willie Carr,
1-2-2?
122.
Needs to find a way past, and it's just shy of the treble 18. So Brown with an opportunity to break straight back.
50. Keegan Carr, 72.
Double 6.
60.
Well, that
Willie
double
Carr,
6 attempt
72.
was a lot closer than the shot for 24. Willie's double
60.
6 attempt was even
Keegan
closer
Carr,
still.
12.
On the wire, but it's not in and therefore not close enough. And that's not
shot.
close enough
Willie Carr,
either. And
12.
it's frustrating for Keegan Brown because just didn't quite have enough length
Getting
on the
shot
throw,
at
and Willie
four-flag,
Borland has
Willie
punished him for busting his score. And those are the fine margins that you
Just like Keegan
sometimes
has
see
been
here at
first,
the Modus
game on.
Super Series. Borland pinches it, takes it 3-1.
Yeah, and I think the frustrating thing for
46.
Keegan will be that, yeah, he's been broken, but he had that opportunity to break straight back, to make it 2-all. I know it sounds obvious, but the difference between 2-all or being
115.
3-1 down is absolutely massive. It's one of those legs that really swings a match. Every leg obviously carries equal value, but
81.
some hurt just that little bit more than others.
I hear you. I hear you. It's like when
59.
people say, oh, it's been a long day. I said, no, you're wrong, my friend. All days are the same length.
Yeah, I think we've said that a couple of
60.
times today. Obviously in for the long shift today and tomorrow.
100.
Well, it's just a couple of times already in this game that Keegan has lost
60.
grip of the dart. Hopefully it's not impacting him too much. You mentioned it
91.
sometimes takes him a couple of matches to get into his stride, but in a field this stacked, you just wonder whether he can afford to have a couple of games off early doors. Sometimes it just takes
100.
something to spark you into life. And
136.
maybe a 154 might be exactly that.
100. Keegan Ricard,
You think a
154.
154 may have to go. Borland down to a double after 15.
$130. Willie 36.
Well,
Games
Willie
on the match,
Borland
Willie Borland.
takes out double 18 for the match. And for the win over Keegan Brown, and Willie Borland made a good habit of winning matches in Group A and was picked by legs difference. He's picked up 3 legs in that column already. He wins by 4 legs to 1 against Keegan Brown. Next up, Steve Beaton is on the hockey for the first time tonight. He takes on Gemma Hayter. This is the home of the Modus Super Series, every dart live and free on Pluto TV. And thanks for joining us tonight here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And for the first time this evening, we will get a glimpse of the god, the idol, the Adonis, Steve Beaton. How is he only 61? He's been around darts for an eternity. He's seen and done it all in the game. He comes up against Gemma Hayter, who was beaten in her opener by another Steve West. But Steve Beaton only made his first Modus Super Series appearance in January 2025, so it's not a great deal of time that he's been competing here in this building. It's been
game on.
An interesting journey for him. He's played as himself, the Bronzed Adonis. He's played as part of a pairs team in an influencer event. He's played for England alongside Adrian Lewis. But one thing he's always done is that, produce quality darts, and we're expecting more of the same tonight.
Yeah, we are indeed, and it's just one of those players, and I think it's probably because I grew up when I first started watching darts. It was the likes of Steve Beaton and your Andy Fordhams. They were the icons of the darting world.
45.
So it always makes me smile when Steve Beaton walks into a building. As you say, he's a player, despite coming off the tour, that still produces high quality, high caliber
25.
matches.
Well, as you say, Steve Beaton coming
60.
off the PDC Pro Tour, but did go to Q School to try and win his card back. Obviously didn't get it. Hasn't exactly been going to plan on the Challenge Tour. That's very much in the game plan for Gemma Hayter, though. Maximum
134.
gets it down to 196, but Steve Beaton on a 2-dart outshot, so it's up to Hayter to apply some pressure. Not quite going to be back-to-back maximums for her, but it's a decent visit nonetheless.
Yeah, pressure most definitely applied. That first start just pulled into the 9.
42.
And there's a real opportunity for Hayter to get the first leg on the board.
Big 10 leaves double 16.
29. Steve Carr 40.
Well,
Getting shot at first leg,
Steve
Steve Beaton.
picks off tops to pick up the opening leg
Second
with
leg,
the
Gemma
darts,
to
and he might
first.
be wiping
Game
his
on.
brow a little bit there and going, whew, that was a close one. Gemma Hayter did have darts to win that leg against the darts.
45.
Yeah, survived a bit of a scare, but it's a tentative start in leg 2 for Gemma Hayter.
44.
Well, if you are joining us for the first time this evening, welcome along to Group B here in week 11 of Series 13. And when we tell you it is a stacked
82.
lineup, listen to this. These two, Gemma Hayter and Steve Beaton, former Lakeside World Champion, partnered by Keegan Brown and Willie Borland and Steve West. What a group. And what a week it's been.
95.
Jared Cole currently set top of Group C. That happened this afternoon. Simon
64.
Stevenson only just below him. Simon, of course, a former quarter-finalist at the UK Open. That was back in 2019. What a good run that was as well. Beat the likes of Kim Huybrechts and Raymond van Barneveld and Dave Chisnell in a last leg decider in that particular edition of the UK Open in Minehead. Ended up losing out to Gedwin Price, who
97.
some of you might have just been watching win a Premier League night in Manchester.
Oh, Gemma Hayter
60.
is a little bit on the
Steve
back
Carr,
foot in leg
16.
number 2. Has left herself a finish, but it's a 116 for Steve Beaton.
60.
And we did see the
Gemma
160
Carr,
taken out this
160.
afternoon.
Well, Jared Cole had a couple of pops at the 160. Gemma Hayter won't, because needed to hit Treble 20 with the
44.
first dart.
Supercar 56.
Steve Beaton to break and for a 2-0 lead.
Game shot on the second leg, Steve Beaton. Third leg, Steve to throw first. Game on.
Oh, the bronze Adonis means business. Gemma Hayter missed a dart at double 16 to break Beaton
81.
in the opening leg. Now she finds herself 2-0 down.
Yeah, and it's another shake of the head. Just not happy with how they're going. And I think that's sometimes the... I'm not going to say the
85.
problem. The position that Gemma Hayter finds herself in terms of the way the fixtures have gone tonight means that 50% of her games have gone after this match. She'd have 4 games tonight.
96.
And she plays 2 of them within the first 3. Sometimes if you don't make that strong start, you know, it already puts that campaign really on the back foot.
60.
Obviously, if you come out of that and you won both of them, it's absolutely great. But if you don't actually hit the ground running, then you are up against it.
60.
Yeah, I suppose there is a sprinkling of luck required in these campaigns, but I suppose you could say that about any match you play. Sometimes you need things to go your way, and you could suggest that there has been bad luck because she missed that double 16. Steve Beaton's taken his chances in this match.
97.
Simple as that.
Yeah, not just taking his chances. I mean, first 2 legs was a 180 per leg from Steve Beaton. Just put himself in a really strong position both times.
100. Supercar 167.
Well, Hayter will have a go at the 116, and this is a finish that was well within her remit.
60. Gemma Hayter 116.
Well, I couldn't squeeze one through to the treble 20, which means the chance evaporates. Well, what do I do next?
55.
Well, she laughs about it. I'm not sure she was too happy about the lie initially of those previous 2. Steve Beaton's happy with the lie of those.
75.
Just wires the double 16 for 107. Now Hayter has to take this. Double 16 again, the target.
29. Supercar 32.
Oh, Steve Beaton, ruthless. And the bronze Adonis marching into a 3-0 lead.
First, game on.
Yeah, Gemma Hayter's been restricted to just 2 darts at double, both of them coming at double 16 off the back of a 61 attempt, which they both look like carbon copies of one another,
87.
the 19 to the 10 to the double 16.
$140.
Well, Steve Beaton says he likes coming back here because it's nice to be playing competitive darts again. And I mentioned how it's not been going ideally for him on the Challenge Tour. Well,
83.
He only entered the first few events, in fairness. Did reach a quarter-final where he was beaten by Joe Hunt, and Joe Hunt is top of the Challenge Tour order of merit. That's been the bronze Adonis' best run, but all of those events he entered came in January, so he had a go at Q School. Actually lost out to
43.
Charlie Manby, who's been a winner here at the Super Series in the past. And congratulations to Charlie Manby as well, who's announced he's expecting, will become a father
60.
for the first time. Baby due in October, apparently.
80. Supercar 161.
Nothing wrong with an October baby.
Just 9 months after Q School. Just thought it was interesting.
100. Supercar 61.
Steve Beaton for a whitewash win.
25.
Oh, there was a deflection there that looked kind just for a split second. Now or never for Gemma Hayter. And unfortunately, it looks like it could be never in this particular contest.
44. Supercar 36.
Well, did that hit the numbering? I think it might have done. Double 9.
18.
Well, okay, I said now or
Gemma
never, and
Hayter,
it's probably
64.
never, but this is an opportunity that Hayter perhaps wasn't expecting.
Yeah, and one. You really do think she will have to take double 9. Sorry, not a given, but it's tops for Hayter.
24. Supercar 18.
Double 9 is what Steve Beaton wants.
Gauge
And he
on the
gets
mat,
it as
Steve
well. 4-0 to Steve Beaton and Gemma Hayter in the blink of an eye. We've only had 3 matches. She's been involved in 2 of them and unfortunately has been beaten in both. And as you mentioned before, Laura, that's 50% of her games done tonight. So she's got some work to do in the remaining 2. Still has Keegan Brown and Willie Borland to play. But it is Steve Beaton who picks up the 4-0 success. Gemma Hayter unable to take any of those 3 chances to win legs. She walks off with defeat. Steve Beaton wins 4-0. This is the Modus Super Series. This is Pluto TV. Thanks for joining us tonight as it is Group B action in week 11 of Series 13. And what that means is that there is just one more week to go before it's Champions Week. So make sure you join us, not through the rest of tonight, but also through tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. And of course, Saturday night, where we will find out who picks up the weekly title. Could be one of these two fellas. Keegan Brown Not his best display, by his own admission, I'm sure. Beaten 4-1 by Willie Borland in his opening contest tonight. Missed 5 darts at double. Didn't really get the scoring going, Keegan Brown. And I think it's because he's not wearing his pink shirt. And he says he's saving it for Saturday night, but he still needs to get there first. And like I said before, I even brought my own pink pen because Keegan Brown wears pink and he's not wearing it. He's let me down. And he'll feel that maybe he let himself down a touch against Borland. Has a chance to bounce back against Steve West, who beat Gemma Hayter in the first game of the night with an 85 average. 44% on his doubles, so a decent start for Westy, who is so used to winning here at the Live Lounge. 5 weekly titles. Only Neil Duff has more. And so even though he's from up the road, this still feels very much like home for him. Keegan Brown, of course, from the Isle of Wight. And a regular here in the comms box as well at the Live Lounge.
First leg, Steve to throw
There's West
first.
against Brown, and away we
Game
go
on.
with Steve to throw first. And one thing we do know about Westy is that he's enjoyed putting a dent in other people's hopes this week, as well as boosting his own, Laura.
60.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's you can't just put it down to one match, but it probably won't feel like that to Willie Borland, that if he'd won his final match, Willie Borland would be sat with his feet up, just kind of
140.
chilling out in the hotel room, watching all the darting action. But as it stands, Steve West produced his best average in excess of 103 to beat him 4-2 and to resign him to playing in Group B.
45.
You mentioned how much Steve West is used to winning here, but by way of his location just down the road, he's also one of those players that likes to come
57.
along on a Saturday, soak up the atmosphere, support players that are playing.
Yeah, he's very much
45.
part of the Modus Super Series family, isn't he, Steve West? As is Keegan Brown, who did play on the Challenge Tour in Leicester recently. He reached the
140.
quarterfinals, where he lost to Derek Coulson, another man who's had great success up on the stage here in Portsmouth.
57.
And a man who
Keegan
many
Brown,
people are saying could
164.
well be the player playing the best darts in the world at the moment without a tour card.
124.
Yeah, I'd probably split that between someone like Derek Coulson and someone like a Mitchell Lowry, who's
40.
not even old enough
Keegan Brown,
to get a tour
40.
card.
Maybe we should change the wording of
Yeah.
that sentence just to make it fair on Mitchell.
Getting shot at first leg, Keegan Brown.
Well, it's an early break for Keegan Brown,
Second leg, Keegan to throw first. Game on.
and it will please him as well because it's a 14 dart leg. Mentioned he ran into Derek Coulson, but he's also beaten some good players,
99.
some players that we've seen here this year already. Tommy Morris and Ashley Coleman.
140.
Won 5 games on the bounce to get himself that quarter-final on the Challenge Tour against Derek Coulson.
96. $60.
Steve West there not able to capitalise and build on the 140 he kicked off with.
115.
A bit of a slip with the last, but I'm sure he'll take it.
41. $96.
Well, he'll be back on the 19s, Keegan Brown.
In fairness, he's already taken this out in this leg.
Keegan Brown, 95.
I lied. Well, he did get on the 19s
55.
eventually, but that's
See the
just because he
car,
went for the bull first
135.
start. He's left himself tops. Now then.
110. Keegan and Carl,
Well, he's not a million miles away there, Steve West.
Getting shot with
Keegan Brown.
Keegan Brown.
He's going to rub salt into those wounds that were
Steve to
opened up
throw
there
first.
by narrowly
Game on.
missing the bullseye. And Keegan takes a 2-0 lead.
But this is a much improved performance from Keegan Brown. 2 legs in.
100.
Just 30 darts thrown to win those opening 2 legs.
99.
Well, in fairness, you said that in previous campaigns here at the Super Series, Keegan has somehow, or sometimes I should say, needed a game just to get into his stride and hit his straps.
60.
Well, this is a good example of that being the case so far. Would make things interesting in this group, and it's only early doors, but
55.
it would mean that we have 4 different players who have all won a match if it goes the way of Keegan Brown.
140.
I was thinking the same thing, because coming up next then you've got Borland versus Beaton, which would mean one of those 2 move on to 4 points. It's on paper it looked like a group that could
137.
all really be close when it comes to the business end of Group B in the early hours of Saturday morning.
77. 145. Civicar 124.
I can't hit the 54, so no
56.
finish
Keegan Car 65.
presents itself to Steve West. Tops for Keegan Brown and 3-0. Double 10.
45. Civicar 68.
Well, now, is this a big opportunity, a big opening for Steve West? Double 4.
Getting shot on the third leg, Steve West.
The answer could well be yes. He's managed to get his
Four by
foot in the
Keegan to
door
throw
because
first.
Keegan Brown
Come on.
was looking very close to closing it on him.
And you just wonder how much Keegan Brown might come to regret those 2 missed darts to take a 3-0 lead. Up to that point,
84.
you'd only miss 1 dart at the outer ring. We say, don't we, so often, it's all about timing, and that was a mistimed miss from Keegan Brown.
180.
And raise the bat, everyone. We've reached a century of maximums here in week 11 now.
134.
With that 180 from Steve West. We mentioned in his last match the Keegan Brown
60.
mantra of win big and lose small. Well, unfortunately, he didn't listen to his own moniker in the first match because he was beaten 4-1 by Willie Borland.
140.
He'll be open to inflict a defeat on West by the same scoreline here.
Well, he's put himself in a really strong position, hasn't he, by way of that early break. But a couple of 180s in this leg for Steve West. Puts all the pressure on the 143.
Well, Westie's hit 2 maximums in the leg, and after that
102.
first start, there's no
Civicar
guarantee that he was
81.
even going to win it. He still might not. But he has done, and he's leveled the game. That's the second time so far tonight that Steve West has taken out 81 in 2 darts. And that's the best leg of the match. And the best leg of the night so far, an 11 darter.
100.
And that's the thing, when you're playing against Steve West, he has the ability to just switch it on. Goes
97.
back to what I was saying. I know it's just a couple of darts for Steve Brown to go. With Steve Brown to it's going to happen, isn't it? Keegan Brown, sorry, to have gone 3-0 up.
What a hybrid
85.
that is.
Yeah.
What a dart player that would be. Maybe you are out there and you're called Steve Brown. Laura's not talking about you.
81.
Yeah, a couple of Steve Browns out there. One over in the US, one here in the UK.
$60.
It's one of those matches, as soon as I saw the names together, I thought, don't say it, don't say it. And you know ultimately you're going to say it and mix it all up.
Well, next up here at the Live Lounge, we have Willie Beaton.
96. 45. $91.
Well, Keegan Brown had the early initiative in this one. Steve West has come roaring back. Keegs his first down to a finish against the darts.
100.
Steve West has applied some pressure on that. Oh, couldn't squeeze the second one in alongside.
128.
Lovely third dart to set up, though.
Yeah, beautiful set-up play from Keegan Brown.
$91
was required. It was a great effort from Steve West.
This is big for Keegan Brown.
H on the fifth leg,
and
Keegan
it goes
Brown.
first dart against the darts. And it's a break he needs to throw out for the match.
Game on.
Well, last time Steve West was looking for a break of 3, managed to find an 11 darter. How he'd hope for something similar here.
Well, the average for Keegan Brown in his first match, which was a 4-1 defeat to Willie Borland, was 71.57. Missed 5 darts at double in the contest.
140.
He's averaging over 100 here. That is a massive improvement. He's still dropping darts all over the place, mind you.
You will see that a lot from Keegan. It's definitely a feature of his game.
138.
Yeah, he kind of massages the barrel into place, doesn't he?
78.
Well, he's not struggling to hit the treble 20 now.
135.
Hold his
47.
score with a 135.
135.
50 found. Big 15.
119.
And 54 as well. Keegan Brown is really in the pocket here. He is a mile ahead.
140.
And despite that ton 40 from Steve West, Keegan Brown's match to win. And he does not pass up that opportunity. A good performance from the man from the Isle of Wight. It's his first victory of the night, having been beaten by Willie Borland in his opener. A convincing victory for Keegan Brown, who averages almost 103, 57% on the outer ring. He has swept aside Steve West, and he wins 4-2.
We're at game number 5 of Group B. We're on Series 13, Week 11, and it is the Adonis Steve Beaton taking on Willie Borland. Both of these players played one game already. Both have emerged victorious. Willie Borland getting the better of Keegan Brown, 4 legs to 1, with Steve Beaton whitewashing Gemma Hayter 4 legs to 0. So one of these two players will go on to 4 points after this match. In terms of the way that they both played, there is very little to split them. Borland with the slightly better finishing statistics, but both averaging in the low 82s. Beaton slightly more prolific when it came to the 180 hitting against Hayter. But it's an interesting matchup. Got the exuberance of Willie Borland.
59.
The experience of Steve Beaton.
Well, just the one PDC meeting between these two former tour card holders. And that came over 5 years ago now in Milton Keynes.
100.
In a Players' Championship event. It went to a last leg decider where Willie Borland ended up edging out the bronzed Adonis. Will we see another close affair in 95. This one? Well, it's been a pretty close week so far, hasn't it, Laura, across Group A and then Group C earlier on this afternoon. Nip and tuck still all to be played for tomorrow.
139.
And you wouldn't bet against it being similar here in Group B. You wouldn't bet against Willie Borland hitting a 170.
81. Supercar 62.
Not to be on this occasion.
Beaton in a position to strike. Should just be the one dart. That dart is at double 16.
46. Willie car 89.
Bullseye.
64. Supercar 16.
Well, Steve Beaton was pretty confident when it came to the finishing in his 4-0 win over Hayter, and it's only one dart in hand here. It's double 4, and he does find the target.
Second leg Steve to throw first. Game on.
I have a theory about 85. Steve Beaton. Hear me out here.
Okay.
Have you heard of the Mandela effect?
I have indeed.
You know, when people think that things have happened that haven't actually happened.
Yep.
I'm convinced that even when he's clean shaven, Steve Beaton still has a moustache.
Never seen him without one.
Even when he's clean shaven, honestly, he still has a moustache.
123.
You just can't unsee it. It's part of the trademark. It's like
95.
Peter Wright's Mohican.
But I remember when I first met Steve Beaton, and he had that kind of glazed perm that he had going on as well.
78.
Yeah, ageless, isn't he, Steve Beaton? I spoke about Keegan Brown being written down in pink in my notes because of his pink shirt. Steve Beaton's 57. Got green because he's evergreen. He just keeps doing it year after year after year, and not on the tour anymore at 61 years of age.
45.
But he says, I miss it. The competitive juices, they get flowing when he gets up there on the stage.
Well, that was the thing. He left the tour by choice. There were other options for him to do away from
44.
the tour. But as you say, he just misses that level of play. And you can see he can still compete at the top level. But to get back on the tour, that's going to be the difficult part for any player.
59.
Well, he left the tour by choice and still went to Q School this year. So he clearly misses it. Is he going to miss this? No, he's not.
Like Steve Beaton.
2-0 Steve Beaton and a ton topper for the bronzed Adonis.
First. Game on. Thank you. 140.
Had me on the edge of my seat there, Paul Hinks.
58.
Just think there are certain angles, the way that dart players darts land, that it's not always easy for the referees to see exactly
44.
what's been scored. But we know Paul Hinks, he'll make sure that he calls the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely, as he should.
41.
Haven't seen anyone be on 127 today.
134.
Surely we're going to get one tonight. Vintage. Vintage Steve Beaton.
96.
Steve Beaton just making sure that what he goes for leaves
52.
him on a finish.
Willie cut 87.
Yeah, he was on 183, so single 13 does leave him a finish.
51.
And he will get a poke at
Steve
it as well.
170.
Willie Borland narrowly missing those two attempts at double 18. They were
92.
right on the wire, in
Willie
fairness.
Clark,
He's going to have
56.
more chances here now. This to hold throw and get a leg. Double 9.
Getting shown the third leg, Willie Borland. Fourth leg, Steve to through first. Game on.
Well, Steve Beaton still in the stronger position of the two by way of getting that early
58.
break of throw. But only 58 points scored, so doors opening early for Willie Borland.
Yeah, and as you said
58.
before, Laura, this match between two players who are looking to become the first player in Group B tonight to win 2 matches. Steve Beaton's already picked up a victory. Willie Borland has already
40.
picked up a victory. Who's going to race to 4 points first?
Yeah, and the thing is, as a player in one of these groups, all you want to do is go
100.
into day 2 in a relatively good position. Yes, if you can top the table, that's ideal, but that's not always necessary. You just need to make sure that you're within contention, within reaching
85.
distance of those top 3 spots.
$100.
We have seen people come through on Group B and just 4 points. Yes, it's unusual.
57.
Yes, it's rare. It needs 2 players to completely dominate a group, but it has happened. So Group B is one of those interesting. It has an interesting
131.
dynamic that no one's ever quite out of the running, not till the very end.
100. Willie Carr 112. $76. Stevie Carr 161. $100.
Well,
Willie
he's had a
Carr,
couple of darts
36.
at this target, Willie Borland. Couldn't hit it. Did hit the double 9 because he came
Getting
inside,
shown
but
the
this
fourth leg,
time
Willie
he
Borland.
only needs 1. And it levels the match at 2 apiece.
Fifth leg Willie to
And
throw
it's
first.
a break of
Game on.
throw. And it puts Willie in pole position to win the match. If he can just hold throw,
83.
he should pick up the pair of points that he's after.
He's done really well, Borland, to get himself back into contention. After 2-0 lead isn't unassailable, as we can see. When it's just a race to 4,
180.
it can be difficult, and it's the second consecutive match where Steve Beaton's managed to find 2 maximums, but back comes Borland with one of his own.
180. $55. $58.
Well, we mentioned that game 5 years ago on the Pro Tour, which finished
134.
6-5 in Willie Borland's favour in a last leg decider. That was pretty close. Both players were averaging in the mid-80s on that day. They're doing the exact
100.
same
Stevie
here.
Carr, 132.
And they're also locked level. No last leg decider yet, but it's definitely on the cards.
107.
Oh, Steve
Willie
Beaton,
Carr, 80.
so close.
Yeah, getting ready to pop that champagne, but the 1-3-2 didn't go, and it's tops here for Borland for an 80 finish and to go one within the match.
And Willie Borland
6-leg Steve to throw first.
edges his way in front with that holder throw, and Steve Beaton came so very close to having the lead himself.
100.
And as you can see, the quality in this contest is just getting better and better, particularly Willie Borland, who's getting better and better. That now 15 darter to go along with the 16 and 17 previously.
177.
That may not be a max, but it's as good as a 177 for Steve Beaton.
100. $60.
Well, this one's coming to a simmer. Can Steve Beaton
92.
bring it to the
Steve Beaton,
boil
164.
with a 164? Oh, not quite on the 54. So
82.
no shot at bullseye.
Willie McCarr 170.
This will raise the roof from Willie Borland. But he can't finish now.
60. Steve McCarr 82.
And all of a sudden there's 82 looking like a must get. 25 scored, 57 left, 17 for tops.
Gain shot on the 6th leg.
No
Steve
mistake
Beaton.
from Steve Beaton, and we do go all the way.
7th and final leg. Willie to throw first. Game on.
Well, I said in match one that you really couldn't split them statistically, and you really can't even in this match with 3 legs all. There's about a point in the average. They're both 3 from 7 on the outer ring. Really isn't much between them.
100.
And this could be one of those scenarios where it's as simple as just having the darts throwing first in the leg that makes a difference.
Yeah, that one and only
100.
meeting in PDC darts, which was 165 by Willie Borland in the Players' Championships in Milton Keynes in 2021. Willie averaged 82,
45.
Steve Beaton averaged 86. Not loads in it there. And as you mentioned, we're looking at similar sort of patterns here.
100.
Each of these players looking to become the first man to win 2 matches tonight.
80. Steve McCarr
A
161.
real untimely bounce out there for Willie Borland, and a chance here for Steve Beaton. Well, the 161 no longer on the cards, but looking to set up.
60. Willie McCarr 136.
Well, he still left himself a 3-dart finish, Steve Beaton.
58. Steve McCarr 101.
Well, that's something that Willie Borland has managed to avoid. 3-dart finish might not matter
69.
because he's the bronze Adonis.
78.
But he's missed his shot at 32, and might he get more? Well, that leaves 66, which is awkward at the best of times, especially when you've got 3 darts in hand, let alone 2. Well, bull was his preferred
53.
target, and
Steve McCarr 32.
a look of disdain from Willie Borland. Is it all over?
No score.
It's not.
Willie McCarr 25.
He covered quite a lot of the bed there, Steve Beaton. Marker.
Getting shot on the match. Willie
Used
Borland.
to perfection by Willie Borland. And the look on his face perhaps tells you everything you need to know. Maybe a wipe of the brow as he feels like he could have got away with one there. He does edge out Steve Beaton in a last leg decider. He becomes the first man in Group B to win 2 matches. Takes it 4-3 in a real nip and tuck affair. Next up, Gemma Hayter takes on Keegan Brown. Halfway through the card then here in Group B. Week 11, Series 13 at the Modus Super Series. And those are the last few results that we have seen. And you'll notice that Willie Borland beat Keegan Brown 4-1. Andy beat Steve Beaton 4-3. So what has that done for Big Willie's position in the table? Well, Big Willie has soared right to the top. I'm not sure what's going on today. Anyway, Willie Borland's top of the table. That's all you need to know. He's top by 2 points ahead of Steve Beaton. Steve West and Keegan Brown have both won matches as well. Gemma Hayter yet to taste victory, but she's got the opportunity against the player immediately above her in the standings in Keegan Brown. That's what we've got for you next up here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And average-wise, Laura, Keegan Brown has posted the best performance of the night so far. 102.73 in his 4-2 demolition of Steve West. And it was a demolition, but credit to Westy because he was doubling at 50%, only had 4 shots at double, hit 2 of them, including an 81 finish in there. But Keegan was very, very effective in the scoring phase. And when you consider his average in the opening match was 71.5, to bump that up to 102.73 is a big old jump. Now, the question is, can he maintain the level against a Gemma Hayter who's desperately searching for her first win of the campaign?
Yeah, it's definitely been a night of two halves, hasn't it, for Keegan
First like
Brown
Gemma
so
through
far. It's
first.
the highest average, but also the lowest average
Game
of
on.
the evening out of the 2 games he's played. As for Gemma Hayter, hasn't really clicked, hasn't quite got going yet, and shown a few early signs of frustration to where her darts are landing.
92.
Both games just shy of the 75 mark for Hayter in her opening 2.
58.
But as you say, so far for Keegan Brown, hasn't really shown us any consistency. Shown us brilliance and shown us where he can be caught off guard. But my theory of the fact that Keegan sometimes just needs a game
99.
to warm into things, maybe that was just what was happening in the opener.
$51.
And you spoke about Gemma and the run of fixtures and the fact that after just 3 matches of the night, she had already played half of her allotted games.
59.
Whereas with Keegan, his fixtures are spread out a little bit more evenly. Played in game 2, played in game 4, it's playing in game 6, and it's playing in game 8.
140.
That's a nice little rhythm and pattern to get yourself into. We know that dart players are creatures of habit, and rhythm can be so important for them. Whereas it's not quite been that fluid for Gemma.
100.
She has produced some impressive visits across the evening so far, but really craving that first victory.
140. Gemma Car 151.
Well, Hayter with the first opportunity to chalk up a leg on the board, and the 151 not going to happen here. And Keegan Brown, by way of that 140s, positioned
38.
himself nicely to
Keegan
pounce.
Car 112.
Tops
Getting shot on the first leg, Keegan
is
Brown.
hit by Keegan Brown. And
Second leg, Keegan is through
Gemma
first.
Hayter is hit
Come on.
with an early punch by Keegs. It's just our second ton plus finish of the night. Steve Beaton hit a 120 against Willie Borland in a game in which he lost. That was in a last leg decider.
57.
Saw a bunch of ton plus outshots this afternoon in Group C. Mainly against Wesley van Schrijp. One half of the Dutch duo that will be representing the Netherlands at International Pairs, which starts here on Pluto TV in a couple of weeks' time. And Steve Beaton, who's in this group, has played for
100.
the England team before. Fallon Sherrock will be playing for England this time around as well. So that'll be exciting.
A
60.
very different dynamic, but pairs is something that is very different to play. You mentioned how players like a rhythm and they're creatures of habit. Well, you're quite used to
58.
throwing after one person. The fact that you have to wait for 3 people to throw in front of you, sometimes players do find it hard to get into that kind of rhythm. But for Fallon Sherrock, pairs is something that she would have been used to been playing.
60.
Obviously, someone who's played a lot on the WDF, where pairs is very much more prevalent.
Well, I actually spoke to Steve Beaton about this a little bit earlier on, and he said, love AD Lewis,
43.
get on with him really well, but as much as I love him and we're good pals, we don't really practice together that regularly, and certainly not in a pairs setting.
60.
So when they were teamed together for England at international pairs, there was a little bit of learning on the job going on. Whereas you probably can't say the same for a pair of twins
140.
who have been attached to the
Gemma
hip
141.
their entire lives and still can't seem to be separated in Group C, it seems, because that's where they are, and that will continue tomorrow. But this is Group B we're focusing on tonight.
109. Keegan 103.
Gemma Hayter has really applied the pressure on Keegan Brown in this 103. No treble means no shot at double for Keegs.
95. Gemma 32.
The double that Hayter wants is 16. She's not found it with as much regularity as she would have liked so far tonight.
Game
But
show
she
on the second
does
leg,
that
Gemma
time.
Hayter.
And that is an important leg for Gemma Hayter.
Third leg,
break
Gemma
a
to throw
throw.
first. Game on.
Yeah, but more importantly for Gemma Hayter, it's the first leg she's won since the very first leg of the first match of the evening.
59.
For a lot of players, you just need to play yourself back into a little bit of form, get yourself that confidence back up there.
97. $95.
Well, Gemma didn't allow Keegan a chance at double in that last leg. And so
96.
Keegan's still doubling at 100% via that 1-1-2 checkout.
Yeah, good option. Switching with the last arc.
139.
As that second treble 20 was just hanging on in there.
$140.
Well, Keegan Brown has left himself a dud.
140.
It was a good 140, to be fair to him. But he's 100 points behind Gemma Hayter and doesn't get an opportunity to go out from here.
57. Gemma Carr 68.
Sometimes one of those throws that as soon as you've done it, you know that you've made a mistake. It's too late to undo anything. But Gemma Hayter, to double her leg tally,
48.
can't
Keegan
find
Carr,
top. So it's
111.
another ton plus opportunity here for Keegan Brown.
Well, he's hit 1-1-2.
75. Gemma Carr 20.
Doesn't pop 1-1-1. Gemma
Games on the
Hayter
third leg,
gets
Gemma
the job
Hayter.
done that she needs to. It's a 2-1 lead.
Ball for Keegan to throw first. Game on.
No, Gemma's not really small. That just is a big glass of water.
44.
I'm also reliably
140.
informed. That's not even Gemma's water. That's Keegan's water. It's like, have you ever seen a picture of Andre the Giant with a beer in his hand?
99.
Makes it look like a thimble.
Yeah, it's another trait of Keegan's that he does drink a lot of water when he plays.
100. $58.
Yeah, shake of the head from Keegan.
60.
And it's safe to say Gemma really has upped her levels from those first couple of games. Both players
100.
averaging around 87 at the moment.
Yeah, not much to split them in this leg either. So if Gemma Hayter can just find a way to
58.
pick up this leg as well, And she's in a really good spot.
57.
I would just say when Keegan Brown beat
143.
Steve West, that made the table really interesting. If Gemma Hayter could get a win here herself, then it really does make the table interesting.
83. Keegan 143. 57. Gemma 60.
Well, this for a third consecutive leg and another breaker throw for Gemma Hayter.
25. Keegan 86.
Ball to level things up.
61.
It's a good
Gemma
effort from
35.
Keegan Brown, but it's another opportunity for Gemma Hayter.
Double 16 for a 3-1 lead. That collapses
19.
into double 8.
Keegan 25.
She also can't get, and there's a grimace on her face because she knows she's allowed Keegan Brown back in. Surely has to use that as a guide. Oh, he's come
17.
too far inside.
Gemma 16.
Oh, it was marked. Lovely. Pair of 4s.
Gage on the fourth leg,
And
Gemma
that
Hayter.
is 3-1 to Gemma Hayter. This could
Fifth
be
leg, Gemma to throw
a valuable
first.
pair of points for her. Our beloved Pompey are just
Game on.
lingering above the relegation zone in the championship at the moment, and Gemma is hoping to do the same. Looking upwards, get some points, and get up the standings.
95.
Yeah, she's manoeuvred herself into a really strong position in this match to do just that, but
140.
Keegan Brown, if he kicking himself over that last leg, he had the chance to level things up at 2 apiece. When you do get legs that go over 20 darts, they're the ones that you just look back on and think, you really should
95.
have done better there.
$137. $140.
Well, it's a must-win leg against the darts for Keegan Brown. Gemma Hayter on the cusp of a finish.
93.
But Keegan will get down to 1 first. Now, is he going to go conventional or is he going to go 51 tops?
100. Keegan 131.
It's going to have to do something good because pressure applied by Gemma Hayter and to pull into the big 5.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there, is it? In
42.
big 5, that's not going to do you
Gemma
any
Hayter,
favours at
71.
all. If you're Keegan Brown, Gemma Hayter to pick up her first win. Tops.
51. Keegan 89.
One match start come and gone for Gemma Hayter. Can Keegan Brown save this match with a ball finish? He
Gage on
can
the fifth leg,
indeed.
Keegan Brown.
That
Six leg
was
Keegan to throw
clutch
first.
from
Game
Keegan
on.
Brown. It had to go, and it did.
And from a position of being quite comfortable, Gemma Hayter having that match start, we're now back on throw, which just didn't feel likely a leg or two ago.
57. $60. $140.
Well, he's upset he didn't fill it up there, but it's still a good visit from Keegan Brown. Should be happy with a ton 40 on his own throw.
140.
Gemma matches it. He's back in the red bit again. Back with a pair of trebles again.
140.
Well, that was deja vu. It was almost an identical looking 140. Can Gemma once again reply?
60. Keegan
That's a trebleless visit for Hayter. Keegan Brown looking at 164, which he won't take out, but he'll be hoping to set up.
86.
Yeah, no, he's got time to try and level things up at 3 apiece. Did have the opportunity to level things up at 2-all, couldn't find the finish. And now, once again, Gemma Hayter, 2 big trebles and pressure is applied. 2 darts, double 12 the target.
On the 6th leg,
No worries
Keegan
there.
Brown.
Keegan Brown, 2 really, really class finishes to level things up at 3
leg, Gemma
apiece.
to
The
throw
78
first.
and the
Game on.
89 on the ball the previous leg.
Well, Gemma not too worried about the last leg. She's worried about this one.
123.
She feels that should have been a max to kick things off.
$137.
A pair of 2 treble visits from each of them to start with in this last leg decider.
30.
Oh, that's a wayward visit from Gemma. Can she afford too many of those? Not anymore.
Keegan just seems to have really
140.
found some kind of rhythm in the last few legs. Scoring's improved, averages improved, finishing has been on point as well.
140.
Yeah, Gemma Hayter has missed 9 darts at double.
100.
And might that be the decisive factor in this game? Surely isn't going to stay there.
59. Keegan Brown, 124.
124 will win it for Keegan Brown. Bullseye.
89.
Well, he already hit the bullseye with a
Keegan Brown,
clutch.
149.
89 finish. Can't do it there. That would have won him the match. Gemma Hayter isn't going to close out the match either in this last leg decider. So Keegan
95.
Brown,
Keegan Brown,
from a
35.
losing position, has come back to level the match and might now win it on double 16.
$19.
Pair of
Gemma
match
Brown,
darts
54.
missed.
Yeah, 3 match darts come and gone in total.
Game
It's
shot on the
Gemma
mark,
Hayter who gets across the line with a 54 finish. She beats Keegan Brown 4 legs to 3, chalking up her first win of the evening. A smile on her face as she says to Paul Hinks, "I've got one." Yes, you have, Gemma. And that really does make interesting reading for the table. This there, the tail of the tape, despite the stronger average from Keegan, it's Gemma that ultimately was the winner. And coming up next, we'll see Steve West back taking on Willie Borland.
treble required. Tops.
Game shot on the
Oh,
third leg.
magnificent.
A group of players for 2026 that has won a week. That's an elite group, though.
Game shot.
That's how champions do it.
Ironically, it's been the Blotto. It's the one he's been able to find. Oh, this would be some act of defiance. Some act of dancing defiance.
I've stopped speculating how Scarrett gets finishes.
It is 20 for double 16.
Game shot in the first
Traditional
leg,
route, and it was
Jasper Scarrett.
pinned well by Jasper Scarrett.
So that's the important dart, but because Spellman's dart lays fairly flat, it can be in a way. You see, stepped across to hit the treble,
Game shot on the third
step
leg.
back across
Alex
to hit
Spellman.
the tops. It's a 120 finish for Spellman.
Game shot on the
Finds
fifth leg.
tops.
Reese Colley.
A great 120 check out there by Reese Colley.
Has first dibs on a potential outshot. Oh, we need the ball.
on the second leg.
167. Take a bow, Jamal Vinden Herrick.
So, to stay in it. Another. Oh, this is fabulous. Can he complete the combination? Can he save his skin? Oh, that is incredible.
Ryan Ramley.
Well, the final week of the series is next week, and then we are in to Champions Week. And this week has a lineup full of talent, and so does week 12. Plenty of names from across the globe making their way here to the Live Lounge in Portsmouth for week 12. And you can be here too. Don't forget, tickets are available for Saturday nights throughout the course of 2026. So we hope to see you here at some point in the near future. But before we get to week 12, we need to sort out week 11. And there's plenty of smiling and joking and laughing taking place on the stage between Steve West and Willie Borland. But it will be business as soon as Paul Hinks shouts game on. Because Steve West won his first match, lost his second match, and is hoping to bounce back. Willie Borland has won 2 of his fixtures from 2. This is third match. So looking to complete his, or keep up his 100% record, I should say, by completing victory over Steve West. Really had to dig deep, didn't he?
First leg, Steve to throw first.
Against Steve Beaton.
Game
Did
on.
Willie Borland, a 4-3 winner, 40% on his doubles. Averaged 85 in that. Steve Beaton averaged 87. It was a close contest, but had to go to the well, didn't he, the Scotsman, and find something in that last leg
57.
decider. And he'll be hoping if he is going to beat Steve West, it's going to be far more straightforward. But any contest involving Westy
80.
is often a battle, and I just wonder whether there might be a tinge
100.
of revenge in the air for Willie Borland, because Steve West in Group A did for his chances effectively of
59.
qualifying for finals night on Saturday night. So these two have faced each other already this week.
Yeah, that win for Willie Borland over Steve Beaton,
60.
as you mentioned, had to survive 4 match darts, but found a way in the end. But yeah, it goes back to that match yesterday afternoon.
96.
Steve West, he'd lost his first 2 encounters with Willie Borland, but managed to produce his performance of the week to deny Willie Borland a place straight through to finals night.
60. $58.
Yeah, and when you do miss out like that on legs difference, and as we keep saying, it was a big margin in all fairness. Willie Borland was level on points with Ben
135.
Robb, but the legs difference was 10 in total, which is, well, it's almost 2 full matches, isn't it?
85.
Let's be fair.
Civica 89.
Now, when you miss out agonizingly like that, it can affect you sometimes going into the
Show
next
the first
day's
leg, Steve West.
darts.
Second leg, Willie to
Wonder
throw
what
first.
Willie Borland
Game
might
on.
be thinking. Is he thinking, here we go again? Because Steve West has already got into his work early and climbed into a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be panicking quite yet. I think for Steve West, he's thrown first in that leg. He's gone out in 17 darts. It's, I think, too emphatic in terms of the levels that we saw from him yesterday. And don't forget, Willie Borland did find himself 2-0 down against Steve Beaton before reeling off 3 consecutive legs. So, yeah, he's been in these kind of positions, and he's been able to win from any position really throughout the
100.
week.
$60. $140.
Yeah, Steve West did really well there to get that third dart past dart number 2. It looked like a bit of a blocker. And yes, Willie Borland first down to a finish, but Steve West will leave himself on something much better.
139. Willie Carr, 164. 44. Supercar 62.
Only the 44 points off the 164. Double 16 and now double 8 for a 2-0 lead.
Game shown the second leg, Steve West.
Steve West kicked off with a 17 darter, backs it up with a
Felt like
50.
Steve
Looking
threw
comfortable
first.
so
Game on.
far for Steve West.
And it's happening again for Willie Borland. He's behind to Steve West. And there was an overlap
140.
between these two in terms of their respective time as tour card holders. It wasn't a great deal of time, so
59.
no meetings on the Pro Tour or at any other tournament in the PDC for West and Willie. But they would certainly got to know each other well
41.
this week.
$100.
Yeah, just having a quick look online. And it looks like obviously they've had 3 meetings this week. This will be their 4th, but they did meet here under this roof back in 2023 as well.
135. $125.
I can imagine the practice room being relatively lively with the group of people that you've got out the back. I think any practice room with Steve West is going to be
45.
One that's quite fun and vibrant. One of those players that kind of embraces new people into the fold.
131. Supercar 140.
Well, won't be able to finish now, just narrowly misses the 60.
100. Willie Carr 86.
Leaves himself tops. That's if Borland doesn't pick up this 86.
$72. Supercar 40.
Double 10. Chasing it round. It's double 5 for a
30.
3-0 lead.
Willie Carr 14.
3 darts burned for Westy.
Willie going straight for it.
Game shown the
And
third
that was
leg.
the right
Willie Borland.
decision. First leg of the match for the Scotsman.
Fourth leg Willie
and it
to throw
comes
first. Game on.
against the darts.
This already
44.
taking on a very familiar feel to the game between Willie Borland and Steve Beaton. Borland going 2-0 down before reeling off 3 legs.
100.
Well, you just mentioned the back room there and the cast of characters that we have in this group.
140.
There's no way that anyone will be able to answer this question. But I wonder how many legs of darts combined have been thrown by these players competitively, added all together. Decades worth of darts for Steve Beaton.
180.
And these two can keep playing legs of darts against each other all night long if it results in this sort of quality. Little
95.
flurry of
Willie Carr
maximums.
137. $100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100.
He is still on the stage, by the way, Willie
41.
Borland.
Steve
There
Carr,
he is.
126.
Yeah, disappointing first start. He was searching for the 19 treble
46.
19 route to leave the
Willie
ball.
Carr, 96.
Just wonder whether that's a bit of fatigue for
James
Steve
on the
West.
fourth leg, Willie Borland.
Nothing tired about those two darts from Willie Borland. And you mentioned this
Fifth
taking
leg,
on
Steve to throw first. Game on.
a similar shape to that game that Willie had against Steve Beaton. Well, even more familiar now because
140.
17 darter followed by 14 darter to level the match.
77.
Just going back to my previous inquiry, I reckon it's got to be millions of legs of darts, surely, competitively. Well, maybe not millions. That's too many.
60.
Tens of thousands.
It's difficult to know, isn't it? It's going to be one of those numbers. I reckon another way of phrasing this is, do you reckon
93.
the other four, barring Steve Beaton, have played as many competitive legs as Steve Beaton has over his career? Because it, as you said, it spans decades.
Well, Westie's obviously played loads. Keegan Brown is only in his early 30s, World Youth Champion in the PDC 2014, thrown loads of competitive darts. And he's still got probably at least 20 years worth of darts left to throw, if not more. Oh, not quite the 51. Would have left him the ball.
89. Supercar 64.
It will be a lot anyway. That's the answer to the question. It's a lot.
It feels like you've asked me how many stars there are in the sky.
Again, on the fifth leg, Steve West. Sixth leg,
Well,
Willie
there are
to throw
loads of
first.
stars in
Game
this
on.
group and at the Super Series in general. We're looking forward to week 12, but week 11, mouth-watering
140.
with the talent on display. And Steve West has won a weekly title 5 times here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Neil Duff has won 6.
100.
He's the only man to have won more. But Scott Taylor and Derek Coulson have also won 5 titles. The likes of
140.
Tom Sykes and Jimmy Van Schie have won 4, but they won't be back here for a while. Of course, they're tour card holders these days.
140.
Yeah, these two just going blow for blow, but
45.
that is a slip from Willie Borland. Steve West looking for that one big
60.
treble, and he can't capitalise on the miss from Willie Borland.
140.
Well, he's had a bit of joy on double 18, Willie Borland, and he needs more success in this next visit. Because if he does hold his throat,
60.
he takes it to a
Willie
last leg
Carr,
decider.
56.
Double 9.
28. Supercar 141.
Well, it's a big ask for Steve West, but well within his capabilities. Well within them.
139. Willie Carr,
The
8.
setup play in the end was not quite great for Westy, but he might get a chance
4.
at this double one. He may regret
Supercar
going back up the
2.
top.
Well, he might win the match on double 1.
No score. Willie Carr, 4.
Oh, that's the danger. Willie Borland might be throwing for the same target.
No score. Supercar,
Well, that
2.
third dart was thrown so quickly.
Again,
And
shown the
Steve
match,
West, via the Madhouse, beats Willie Borland, and not for the first time this week. And in Group A, a Steve West win against Willie really dented the Scots' hopes of qualification for Saturday night. Will that result have similar consequences? We will find out in due course. 91.12 the average for Steve West, who beats Willie Borland 4-2. Well, don't forget you can be a part of the action on Saturday nights here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. We have seen some special stuff on Saturday nights, and we are due to see more. You can be there and make sure that you are for a night at the darts. Come and be a part of it with us here on Pluto TV. 3 matches left this evening for you in Group B. This is the first of that trio, and it sees Keegan Brown take on the former Lakeside World Champion Steve Beaton.
First side, Keegan to throw first.
And Steve Beaton
Game on.
has had to wait a while, a couple of matches, which in Group B technically counts as a while, to get back up there to put right his last leg defeat to Willie Borland, who himself has just lost out to Steve West. So this is an interesting group. Steve West is top of that group because he beat Willie Borland by virtue of 1 leg. Now, Willie Borland will be hoping that it doesn't stay that way because he lost out on a spot in finals night by virtue of legs difference.
81.
When he was in Group A. Keegan and Steve both have the same amount of points with 1 win each.
140.
The difference is this is Keegan's last match of the night, whereas Steve still has 1 more to play, and that's against the current leader, Steve West. So he can do himself a real favour here, the Bronze Adonis, if he can pick up a win.
Yeah, but look at the table. 2 players on 4 points, 3 players
Keegan
on 2 points. But even the stats, there's not much to split them. This feels like it has the makings of a very tight group.
132.
It's good setup play from Keegan Brown.
45. Keegan Ricard 8. Game shot the first side, Keegan Brown.
Well, Keegan Brown, for me, it feels like he's a bit all or nothing tonight, because we mentioned prior to his previous match, highest average of the evening of 102 as Steve Beaton finds the first maximum of the match. But then has the lowest of the evening as well at 71. Kind of found a middle range in that 4-3 defeat at the hands of Gemma Hayter, around just under 89.
Yeah, the sliding Keegan Brown scale has been up and down like a yo-yo, hasn't it, so far tonight? Did start with a 13 darter, though. Can't turn your nose up at that, particularly against a player of the quality of Steve Beaton. But it is Steve Beaton who's a long way ahead in this one.
83.
Could potentially get it done in 11.
97. Steve Ricard 98. $58.
Well, no need to force the issue. He's got some insurance. And could well match Keegan Brown's opening 13 dart leg. With a 13 dart hold of his own. He'll need tops with his first dart to do it.
Game shot the second leg, Steve Beaton. Third leg, Keegan to throw first.
Yeah, solid start from both players. As you say, both going out in 13 darts to win their opening legs. Both averaging in excess of 100 and both 1 from 1 on the outer ring.
177.
Oh, we spoke about yo-yo Keegan Brown. That was a yo-yo 177. Up, down, up. It's like a halfway to a PlayStation cheat code.
100.
Other game consoles are available, of course.
Yeah, I was more of an Xbox girl. And I do have a Wii as well, but you know, apparently you're not meant to admit that these days.
40.
Everyone had a Wii back in the day.
I've still got mine.
Everyone.
57. Keegan Ricard 84.
It's been many a Christmas day doing a bit of like Just Dance with the kids.
cutting up a few Rasputin moves.
76. $43. Keegan cut 8.
Well, Steve Beaton seems to have given up hope in this leg.
Gain
And
shot
he'd be
the third
right
leg,
to feel
Keegan
that
Brown.
way because Keegan Brown has taken it. On
Fourth
double
leg, Steve to
2.
throw first. Game on.
Well, I don't want to sound like I'm boasting here, Laura, but I have in my possession
59.
an original Game Boy from the late 1980s.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I do know that we have.
57.
And this is going to show my age, I think. It's not mine, it's my husband's, but an Amstrad.
What's one of those?
With a cassette.
59.
Well, if you want someone involved in darts who likes retro games consoles, look no further than relentless Ryan Joyce. There's a reason
60.
he's got Tetris blocks all over his dart shirt. He's an avid collector of video game paraphernalia, so I'm
140.
told.
$180.
Sweet maximum from Keegan Brown.
134.
180 tally to 1 apiece.
Well, speaking of retro, Steve Beaton is as retro as you can get in this game.
I mean, even the
59.
dart
Super
shirt,
Car
right? That's
109.
straight out of like the 1980s, 1990s.
40. Keegan car 145.
Yeah, you don't see many button-up dart shirts these days. Keegan Brown can't finish.
93. Supercar 69.
This will be nice. Tops.
49. Keegan car 52.
This is a big moment in the game because Keegan Brown can break Steve Beaton here. And he has
Gain shot
done.
the fourth leg, Keegan Brown.
It's a really good dart at tops. Just underneath the top
Fifth
wire.
leg, Keegan to throw first. Game on.
Well, we've seen retro stuff come back into fashion, so maybe your Amstrad might be all the rage in a
174.
couple of years again.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, I was having this conversation with someone the other day. I come from the compact
83.
disc age. I know how a CD works. A laser scans the disc, and music or video comes out. Vinyl absolutely spins my head. How can grooves
88.
and needles make noise that sound like music? I've still never got my head around it. I don't think I ever will. I don't understand it. Please, can someone teach me?
140. $96.
Have you ever taken out the inside kind of tape of a cassette? I mean, again. Oh, yeah, you got your pen to the ready
I've
to
got my pen
wind-
ready to wind it up.
123.
Now, that
Keegan
much I
car
do know.
143.
When it comes out all chewed up and oh.
$102. Steve car 155.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
117.
Steve Beaton so
Keegan car
close
41.
to a 155. Keegan Brown is looking to punish him for that miss. And he
Gain shot
does
and marks
so
Keegan Brown.
with 2 darts. And Keegan Brown beats Steve Beaton. Oh, yes. A point down the camera for Keegan Brown, who averages over 102 for the second time tonight. It has been, as we've said, a sliding scale of Keegan Brown performances. He has the curiosity of having the lowest average of the night, but also the 2 highest. He beats Steve Beaton in convincing fashion. This is Pluto TV, the home of the Modus Super Series, your home of live darting action, 50 weeks of the year. If you don't know how many weeks are in a year, there's 52. So for most of them, if you want to watch live darts, you can come to this channel and watch live darts. There is absolutely loads of it, and we're not done yet tonight either. But these two will be after this contest because this is their respective final game of the evening each. It's Willie Borland against Gemma Hayter. And Gemma picked up her first victory against Keegan Brown in her last match. That was a 4-3 win where she did mismatch darts initially. Keegan Brown roared back, including taking out a 1-1-2 checkout in the match.
40.
And eventually, Gemma did get herself over the line, and she said, I've got myself a win. Now she has to build on that. Can she build on that against the wounded Willie Borland, who was beaten 4-2 by Steve West? And speaking of Beaton, Steve Beaton is our final game tonight against the other Steve, Mr. West. Keegan Brown just beat Steve Beaton 4-1 in the last match, and with a 102.21 average
60.
to go with his 102.73 average, he had a little point down the camera, did Keegs. And he'll be hoping that
100.
he can continue some of those good performances heading into tomorrow, because this group is far from concluded. We're only halfway through, really.
Yeah, and there is a scenario just looking at the table where if Gemma Hayter can get past
100.
Willie Borland, she would then move on to 4 points. Steve Beaton, then if he can get past Steve West, he'd be on 4 points, which means going into tomorrow's action,
100.
all 5 players would be on 4 points. There would be nothing but leg difference to separate them.
Well, Steve West currently tops the group
100.
because of leg difference. He was 5-1 with the odds makers before the evening began. Steve Beaton went off the favourite.
140.
If Gemma Hayter wins this against Willie Borland, Steve Beaton would move to the bottom of the table. But it is so close. And of course, Steve will have a chance to put that right
Willie account 44.
in the final game of the night against Westy.
Game shot the first leg, Willie Borland.
Big Willie in business.
Second leg, Gemma to throw first. Game on.
Holds his throat.
Yeah, Gemma was
100.
sat on a potential 50 finish if Willie Borland didn't convert the 44.
40.
Yeah, and I think you can tell everything you need to see from the reaction there of Willie Borland. And if you are interested in coming along to the
82.
live lounge, you'll see that QR code that's just popped up on your screens. If you scan that code, it will take you to dartshop.tv where
42.
you can get your tickets. Honestly, a Saturday night here. They are brilliant. If you've not been before, then I would definitely recommend coming along.
Be careful, though. Don't get too close
60.
to your telly. Don't be knocking it over or anything like that.
You do a Danny Van Tripe and just kind of headbutt it.
180.
Well, I don't know how you did that earlier on, where you said, oh, Danny needs to be careful. He might fall off the stage or he might bump his head on
44.
something. And then 3, 2, 1, whack. Smashed his head on the TV. So, the Oracle, Laura
96.
Turner, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, I wish I was the Oracle. Be a fantastic darts nickname. I think that's not a bad one to have.
134.
Either that or you just sound like a kind of local daily newspaper.
102. Gemma 81.
Well, the cop-out answer was someone's going to throw 3 darts at the board. That's what's going to happen next.
Well, I don't
41.
think even
Willie
Gemma saw the fact that she
41.
didn't get the big number. She's denied herself a chance at the ball, and Willie Borland now looking at going 2-0 ahead, and
Finish on the
that's
second
what's
leg,
happened.
Willie Borland.
Yeah, punishing blow from Willie Borland.
Felt like Willie to throw first.
Gemma's
Game on.
spitting with herself, and you can understand why.
140.
An uphill fight for Gemma now.
Yeah, And that's the thing, she has had chances in the matches,
60.
even when she hasn't won. She was 1 from 7 on the finishes in her opening match against Steve West. She got that win, 4-3 over
91.
Keegan Brown. She had 3 darts when she was beaten to nil against Steve Beaton. And I know they're not a huge amount of darts at a double, but when you're at this level, then they're the opportunities you need to take. And
85.
I think would have been more frustrating than anything else is just not giving herself the chance at the bullseye by missing the single number off the 81.
45.
But that is an inviting first start for Gemma.
100.
Yeah, the close of the eyes and the look down to the floor as she knew that was a good lie for her.
41.
And a player that has had success here. She's won a Women's Week, won in the ADC tournaments that we host here as well. She knows
60.
what it takes to win.
$44. $40. Willie O'Carr, 140.
Annoying for Gemma Hayter. She's probably felt a bit unlucky at times tonight as well.
43. Gemma
I
O'Carr,
think when you
156.
feel your luck's not in or they're just not going right and then you get one on the floor, it kind of just feels bigger than it is.
$100. Willie O'Carr, 97.
57 for tops. 57 for tops.
Game shot on the third leg, Willie Borland.
3-0 Willie Borland. And what you can say about Willie is that his
Four-play
finishing has
Gemma
been
to throw first.
exemplary
Game
in
on.
this game. That 97 checkout, the highest of the 3 so far. But he's only missed 1 double.
59.
And that's difficult to live with because Gemma hasn't been given a chance at double despite the fact she's averaging only a couple of points less than Willie.
Yeah, and when Willie has checked out, Gemma's been sat on 50, 40, and that last leg she was sat on 56. She's been there or thereabouts when it comes to keeping up with Willie Borland,
50.
but it's just been that one dart, that one throw ahead.
Just not been missing, has he? Particularly at double.
59.
Not necessarily been blistering in the scoring phase, but he was pretty good against
100.
Steve Beaton in that last victory that he had. Generally, numbers-wise,
100.
Willie's been pretty consistent between 82 and 85 throughout the majority of the night so far. He's not really wavered much from those margins.
Yeah, and for Willie Borland, if he does win
105.
4 legs to nil, then the issue for Gemma Hayter will be that leg difference. In terms of points, she'll still be well within the mix, but it could come down to leg difference. Then she has already suffered a 4-0 defeat. If it's a second one, then it's going to be quite hard to get out of.
Yeah, she's already 9 legs behind in the leg difference column.
70. Gemma O'Carr, 137. $97. Willie O'Carr, 32.
Well, Willie Borland tidies up the 32 to win the match and take care of Gemma Hayter with a 4-0 victory. Once again, averaging around the 84-85 mark, but it was on the outer ring where Willie found his success. Only missed 1 dart at double, didn't give Gemma a shot at double, and that 80% checkout success rate sees him pick up 2 more points. 1 game left of the night. Steve Beaton plays Steve West after this.
Well, we come to the final match of this first day of Group B action, and it is Steve Beaton who is taking on Steve West. Steve West currently sat on 4 points, second on the table behind Willie Borland, who's on 6 points. Steve Beaton, just the one solitary win so far in Group B, sat on 2 points, but a win here would put him on 4 and really put him once again in the mix for a place in Saturday's finals. But as the group's gone, the points have been relatively shared out between the group.
First leg, Steve
Everyone's
Beaton
still
to
in
throw first.
contention going into tomorrow.
Well, we call Steve Beaton the bronzed Adonis, don't we, Laura?
100.
But if you bump into Steve West in a couple of weeks' time, he might be the one looking bronzed.
26.
Because I just caught up with Steve before he went onto the stage, and he told me he's heading off to the Costa del Sol on Sunday.
140.
It's all right for some.
And he's heading out there to play darts.
51.
So if he makes it to Saturday night, he'll be getting on a plane to Spain on Sunday.
85.
Potentially with another weekly title under his belt. And if he gets it, that would put him level with the Duff Man.
100.
With 6 weekly wins at the Super Series. That's a record.
134.
Well, once again, it's a really strong start from Steve Beaton. We've seen this a couple of times.
140. Supercar 42.
Double 60.
Each on the first leg, Steve Beaton.
The 14 dart holder throw to open up this final game of proceedings in day
Second
1 of
leg,
Group
Steve
B.
West to throw first. Game on.
And you have to say that the games that Steve Beaton hasn't won, he probably feels a little hard done by. He was unfortunate not to get past Willie Borland. Had 4 match darts when it was at 3 apiece, and just really came up against a strong performance. Keegan Brown averaging in excess of 102
60.
in that 4-1 victory for Brown. But Beaton averaging around 93.5 for that, so he's been playing well.
140.
Well, we just waxed lyrical about Willie Borland's finishing performance against Gemma Hayter. 80% 4 out of 5 on the doubles. Keegan Brown had exactly that. 80% 4 out of 5 on the doubles. Except he also averaged 102.21 against Steve Beaton. So there's an example of exactly what you're talking about.
45.
And I do wonder with players, when you come up against a player that has the kind of legendary status that someone like Steve Beaton has,
42.
Do you up your
Supercar
levels?
136.
Do you kind of subconsciously just play that bit better because you just want to beat one of the legends of the game?
112.
Yeah, he's like a cult figure, isn't he, in this sport, Steve Beaton?
120. Supercar 24.
Denied a maximum by that bounce out. Steve West won't be denied on double 12.
Third leg, Steve Beaton to throw first. Game on.
Well, maybe there is a little something when it comes to luck and Steve Beaton in this building. 'Cause he's
59.
lost a couple of times in finals. He's been a runner-up twice. He's also been involved in a 9-dart shootout. And I spoke to him earlier tonight. I said, you've probably not played in many of those. He said, nope. And I'd happily avoid it.
100.
I don't like it. He ended up throwing third, I think it was, in the 9-dart shootout and wasn't able to get the job done. But it's one of those things.
100.
How do you prepare for it? You've just got 9 darts and score as much as you can. Like, it's not something that really
41.
you ever contemplate. And someone who's played decades worth of darts going into an unknown situation is quite rare.
I don't know. I reckon he's been on bullseye
52.
before as the professional player, and he needs to harness all that experience from his time on bullseye. That's 9 darts, wasn't it, for the pro?
60.
I mean, that's as good as I could think up.
Well, unfortunately for Steve Beaton,
100.
we don't have Tony Green turning a blind eye to the occasional dart in the wrong segment. I'm saying nothing. I'm saying
55.
nothing.
I always like to look where their feet are on that oki because you get one with a whole foot past the kind of 7'9" and a quarter inches.
Yeah, 6'4" and 2/4.
41.
And it always used to throw me that when someone won, they won a caravan or a speedboat, but when they lost, it was like a Caribbean holiday.
42. Supercar 151.
Won't go for Steve West. I always like the fact that someone who lives
85. Supercar
in a council flat in
144.
Coventry has won a speedboat. Lived 200 miles from water. Always a great prize.
45. Supercar 66. $26. Supercar 99.
Well, this is one of those pesky 3 darters for Steve Beaton. He's done the hard bit. Now the next hard bit is to hit double 16, but he makes it look so easy when he does it like that. And he's been doing it that way for years.
Fourth leg Steve West to throw first.
And he ekes himself into a 2-1 lead.
$85.
It's a good pick off with the last start for Steve West.
$98.
And again, I know we're early on in the match, but the finishing stats already make good reading. 100% for Steve Beaton and 50% for Steve West.
96.
Here's a question for you. It's the last game of the day, so indulge me this. We might be getting a bit delirious here.
Might.
Oh, it's a bounce out of the
120.
maximum there for Steve Beaton. Unfortunate, because that's the second time that's happened. Should a 99 checkout count as a ton plus checkout? Now, I know it's not technically 100 or more, because it's 99, but it's a 3-dart combo. Whereas a 100 checkout is obviously a 2-dart combo in most situations. 60 for tops. Bull, if you're feeling fancy. That was so nicely done by Steve West, and this has been a really good contest between 2 experienced punters up there on the stage.
I guess it kind of comes down to how you're recording it. We celebrate ton plus checkouts, but perhaps we should celebrate 3-dart checkouts. Any combination you can only get with 3 darts, but then it makes it complicated. 51 ball, 104 ball for 104. I think we've got it as simple as we can get it, but we should celebrate a 99. We should put a flake in it.
140.
Bit of raspberry sauce as well for me.
140.
I used to get something called a witch's hat where they'd give you the 99, but then they stick a big rocket lolly in the top. So like
a what?
A witch's hat.
No, not the witch's hat bit. You mean you're buying a 99 ice cream and you're getting an ice lolly as well?
Yeah.
66.
Had a good metabolism when I was younger. What can I say? Couldn't do it now.
Well, my dad used to get this thing called an oyster. Never seen
100.
anyone under the age of 55 get an oyster.
Well, I won't tell you that I am partial to an oyster. No, I'm not. I'd rather eat an ice cream version of an oyster than a real one. I'll give you that.
106.
Well, we could have gone from oysters to a perler there from the bronzed Adonis, but he's left himself 66. Couldn't get the combo started. Steve West
95. Supercar
picks off
66.
5 19s to leave himself 112. Well, 20 would leave double 16.
34. Supercar 112.
Now, this goes down as a chance for Steve West. It's a hard one.
$92. Supercar 32.
He's angry with himself, but he's done well to even get himself a shot there. But he knows how tight this game has been. And Steve Beaton has hammered home just exactly how close this contest might transpire to become.
Yeah, just one dart, all the difference there for Steve West. Steve Beaton really has been efficient when it's come to that double 16 hitting, especially in this match.
96.
So, a witch's hat, a 99 ice cream with a rocket lolly or a lolly stuck in the top. How do you eat it? Which bit are you eating first? Because surely the lollipop stick is sticking up.
It is,
118.
Yeah, you take the lolly out, eat that.
So you may as well just buy an ice cream and a lolly separately. Instead, you've just wedged them into each other for no reason other than just to call it a witch's hat and it sounds cool.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't explain it. I mean,
45.
don't judge me too much. I was probably about 8 or 9 at the time.
Excellent consumerism from the ice cream men and women in Eastleigh. Oh, he tried to bully and bulldoze his way through there, didn't he? He's left himself 80, which is more than makeable.
100.
And it has to be made by Steve West in this leg. Otherwise, he's facing defeat.
70. Supercar 142.
Yeah, missed the 1-1-2 on the doubles. Missed 2 darts there to level it up at 3 apiece. The 1-4-2... not going to go, but there's going to be pressure on this double
95.
5. Double 5,
10.
not a given.
Yeah, not a nice one. But Steve West
takes
care of it. First dart of asking. Down the stretch we go then. The final game of the night here in Group B. It's the opening evening's action. And we will find out
55
on, well, I guess the early hours of Saturday morning exactly who's going to be back later that night.
100.
Well, still all to play for in this group and in Group C.
95.
The action continues tomorrow afternoon here at the Modus Super Series and then back into Group B.
125.
Yeah, this is the second time tonight that Steve Beaton finds himself in a last leg decider. The last time he was here, that last leg, it was won by Willie Borland. Looking to turn around his fortunes here against Steve West.
60. $45.
Untidy from Steve Beaton. On his own throw, and West looking
56.
to turn the darts around and doesn't take full advantage, but has left himself 160. That is a far more profitable visit from the bronze Adonis.
160.
I was about to say this would be some way to win it. He should set up nicely, and he does. Steve Beaton, 75 points between him and a second win.
18. Tops.
55.
Oh, that's a mile away from Steve
20.
Beaton. A really low dart. And now Steve West. Double 10. Well, how much of it is he blocked off? Double 5.
15.
And he can't hit double 5 in back-to-back legs. That was an unfortunate first dart. Obscured so much of the bed. Steve Beaton can see plenty of it. And still. And he gets the job done. The bronze Adonis wins in the last leg decider. He has a little chuckle with Steve West. Westy has a smile on his face, but you just know he won't be smiling inside because that's 2 points that have slipped through his fingers. And Steve Beaton, who lost the last leg decider to Willie Borland earlier on tonight, has won one in our final game of the night against Steve West. We'll be dissecting all of the action in the studio shortly. We'll see you after this. Well, that is it for night 1 of Group B here in week 11 of Series 13 at the Modus Super Series, and it is still all to play for. Those were the last few results that we saw on the Live Lounge stage. Wins here and there for pretty much everyone, so it leaves the table in a fascinating position heading into tomorrow as players look to book their place through to Saturday night and finals night. This is how the standings in Group B are shaping up, and Willie Borland with 3 wins from his 4 matches, and the other, he was edged out in a last leg decider, 6 points, which puts him top ahead of Steve West. Keegan Brown, Steve Beaton, and Gemma Hayter also picked up a victory. She's on 2. So that's how things look in Group B. Laura Turner was watching the action with me in the commentary box, and we can see the table there. Laura, what have you made of tonight's action?
Yeah, I think you said it right. It's just been a real sharing out of the points. And, I think Keegan Brown kind of seems to be the person for me that's hit 2 102 plus averages, but also hit the lowest average. And it's just the way the night's gone. It's really ebbed and flowed between the players, but makes it very interesting reading going into tomorrow. Okay, well, let's take a look first of all at Willie Borland, who is top of the group overnight. And it was an interesting evening for Willie because coming off the back of Group A, where he was edged out on legs difference, he probably was quite keen to make a statement. And in this game, he managed to beat Steve Beaton in the last leg decider, but he goes into tomorrow the group leader, and so I suppose that does in some way produce some form of statement. Yeah, and he should be wary of the position that he's in. Yes, the top 3 goes in, he's in a great position going into tomorrow, but he has been pipped at the post by legs difference before, and that is not a clear lead. It's only 2 points. When he went into Wednesday, he was 4 points clear of Ben Robb, so he should be aware, once bitten, twice shy, as they say, so needs to be fully focused still going into tomorrow. Okay, what about the 2 Steves? Let's start with, what Steve do you fancy first, Beaton or West? Let's go for Steve Beaton. Let's go for Steve Beaton first. Why not? Steve Beaton, the bronze Adonis, doesn't have loads of experience here actually on the Live Lounge stage, but does have loads of experience in this sport in general. Produced some very good stuff, some very solid stuff, some very Steve Beaton-like displays. He went off the bookie's favourite, and he's still in a really good spot to book his spot through to Saturday night as well. Yeah, although he's 4th on the table, he's on 4 points. It's equal with Keegan Brown. But for me, I think he's actually probably been the most consistent player at quite a good level. He's come up against big performances. He ran into one of those 102 performances against Keegan Brown. When he lost his other game, he lost with a 97 average. So, he's playing well, just not quite getting the results. But he got across the line in the last match, so puts himself in a good place. Okay, well, you mentioned his name a couple of times. Let's look at his performances this evening. Keegan Brown, a couple of averages in excess of 102, but also had an average of around 71. We call it the sliding Keegan Brown scale. That 71 average was in his first match, but the couple of averages where he produced 102, they were really solid performances, and that should give him confidence heading into tomorrow as well. Yeah, we even got like a bit of a finger point towards the tail end of the match. He knows where the camera is, but he was obviously happy with those. He won't be happy with the 2 that he lost because they were subpar. They weren't to the levels that we would expect from Keegan, and he would expect for himself, but he's always a danger, and he shows that there. If he can find maybe like a bit of a middle spot, he doesn't have to get the big 102s, but if he can find something around the mid-90s, kind of around the 90 mark, and do that consistently, then again, he's going to trouble everyone. Yeah, and if he can keep finishing at around 80%, which is what he did have in one of his matches where he averaged 102, then he's going to do himself no harm at all. Let's take a look at Steve West now then. He was just on the oche against Steve Beaton in that final match of the evening, and I spoke to Steve West a little bit earlier on, and he said, no, there are times where I just feel like I don't care. And I don't think he meant that in necessarily a way of he doesn't care about the results or the performances, but it kind of means, I think, a release of pressure. And he's so experienced up there that it is almost like water off a duck's back for him, whether he's playing well or not well. Yeah, it's like a second home here, isn't it, for him? He's more than comfortable, and he knows how to get the best out of himself. Yeah, I think he'd be happy enough going out with 4 points. He could have got that last match against Steve Beaton, made it a bit more comfortable going into tomorrow, but 2 wins out of 4. He knows he's in a good place. He knows how to negotiate these stages, and he also knows how to win a weekly title. And at the back of the pack then, Laura, Gemma Hayter, a player who said she wanted to come in here and try and enjoy herself. She's found success on this stage in the past as well. How do you feel that she did? Yeah, I think she'll be frustrated. There were a few opportunities in every match that she just wasn't able to capitalise on. The one that stands out for me, missing that single number off the back of it, trying to get a bullseye, with her last dart. That would annoy her. You could see her in the background. And I think the worry in terms of qualification now is she's -10 when it comes to the leg difference. She's on 2 points at the foot of the table, so there's a lot of work for Gemma to do. I don't doubt that she's got the ability to do it. It's just whether with that extra pressure, whether it all clicks.
Ready to do it all over again tomorrow, Laura?
Always.
Lovely. Well, we'll see you here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Let's take a look at what we got coming up next for you, though, live and free on Pluto TV. This is your home of live darts. Coming up next, Steve Beaton and Mervyn King, two absolute legends of the game, are featured in Break of Throw. They've had so much success, so why not check out exactly why their throws are often considered a work of art. And then, of course, Group C and Group B continues tomorrow. Join us at 1 p.m. and at 10 p.m. live and free here on Pluto TV to see the conclusion of Week 11 of Series 13. Week 12, the final week of the series, starts Monday at 9:30, and then, of course, Saturday night at 7:30, it's finals night. We'll see you there. Well, that is it for this evening's action here at the Modus Super Series. Group B action concludes this evening, but we will have more for you tomorrow. Catch you there. See you then.
The new Modus Super Series champion.
Oh my word! It's another incredible moment tonight.
Jeff Smith.
It's match dart. 5-star performer, and the bullseye is hit.
It's Johnny Magnet.
You will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have
Graham
one dart.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit.
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And the Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jurgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2.
Did he go for tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Kaplas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He's 2 darts away.
Have long to recover. It is very, very short format darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs one more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the one treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
101.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double 4 for the match.